In this video, I'm going to build a sales page for brand Notable and in particular their product Notable Alpha. So just like the advertorial video I published a few weeks ago, we are going to go through every single step from research at the beginning to then coming up with angles with the help of ChatGPT to then actually designing the page and putting out a layout that makes sense for a sales page. We're going to go through every single step and you're going to be able to follow along and do the same for your own brand if you need to sell a particular offer or you're coming up with a particular offer for your own e-commerce brand. So let's start first here from their product page. As always, as usual, as like I've done for the advertorial video, Notable is not my client. I'm not affiliated to them, so I'm only able to use what I find here on their product page. I don't have access to any of their assets, any of their reviews. I only have access to what you can see here on their product page, which we're going to go through shortly. To start with the first phase of building the page, which is research. So starting immediately here at the top, we can understand immediately what type of product this is. So this here is a testosterone supplement, and we have the call out here immediately at the top: increase free testosterone by 74% in 90 days, which is something that's perfect immediately that we can use already and we can kind of reuse for our sales page. Now, the focus on sales pages will be on three main things. The first focus, and obviously the obvious focus of a sales page, will be a strong offer. You need to have a strong offer for the sales page or else it's not going to work. You have to think about what type of traffic you're going to put a sales page in front of. It's going to be warm traffic, traffic that's already problem aware, so they know the problem. They're already also solution aware because they have a few different options they can choose from. Obviously on the market there are a lot of testosterone supplements or supplements that claim to be able to increase testosterone or boost testosterone or help with the testosterone problem in men specifically. So they're problem aware, they're solution aware, they have a few options they can choose from. The goal with sales pages is to put a very strong offer in front of this type of traffic, which has a lot of options to choose from, so they can go with your offer and choose your offer with the help of some other sections which are going to see when designing the page, when going through the research. Then the second focus is obviously differentiation. So as I've mentioned, problem aware, solution aware option, you need to differentiate yourself. You need to make sure you have strong claims. You need to make sure you back up those claims, and obviously with the offer you're going to do 1 and 2, so you're going to have to merge that differentiation angle into your offer and build a strong offer on that to be able to differentiate your product and differentiate from the other solutions on the market. And then the third main thing on sales pages will be fear of missing out and limited kind of wording around the page to push people to go for the call to action and go for the purchase. So after mentioning all of these three goals here, so strong offer, differentiation, and fear of missing out wording and kind of copy, then we can go here through with the product page and see what we can gather here in terms of research, in terms of what we can write on the sales page in terms of copy. So the offer we're going to use for this, so you can use a few different offers from this. As you can see here, they're running bundling plus subscription on their PDP. What I've tested for clients and what I like to do on sales pages is focus specifically on one single offer around your product. So here on the product page, obviously they have both bundles and subscriptions. If you're going to build a sales page, I suggest you focus on just one offer. So if you're going to go for the bundle, then for example here they have the cutoff at 1, 2, and 3 packs. I would suggest, for example, if you want to focus on EOV or the bundle offer on your sales page, and you, for example, go on to something like 2, 4, 6, or you test the different kind of cutoffs for the bundles, and you separate the offer. So if you want instead to go for a free trial offer or a subscription offer more heavily, then you focus the sales page specifically on that and don't mix and not mix the two. So don't have both bundles and then subscriptions on the sales page, but focus on a single offer. The offer we're going to focus on here is AOV. So I'm going to use the bundling cutoffs they have here. Obviously this is something that would be open to testing. So if, for example, you build the sales page with the same cutoffs that you have on the PDP, then you can also duplicate that sales page and also test with, for example, 2, 4, 6 in this case, or 2, 3, 4, something like that. But I'm going to go for an AOV focused offer, so getting people to buy more immediately at the beginning. So this is the offer we're going to focus on. So we have the strong offer component. Then we need differentiation. The first differentiation angle we can go for here is the claim they are making here, which is increase free testosterone by 74% in 90 days, and they're backing that up with their formula test increase, which is a study they've run, double-blind, placebo-controlled human study. So we can use obviously that as a claim and for differentiation. So that's also very good. Then they also have here the support of magazine social proof, very big press press players here, so that's also a good angle for differentiation. Here, this section here for managing expectation they have, so as you can see here, very interactive with the day-by-day explanation of what is going to happen when you use the product. This is also something we can use for differentiation. You can claim that you can get results faster than other players in the market. You can get results in a much more effective way, or better results than other players in the market. So also using this expectation side of things will also going to be useful for differentiation. They have here the claim again for the 74% increase, so this is also something we're going to use on our sales page. Then here they mention they're going directly for a comparison here, and on sales pages, comparison and differentiation, as I've mentioned, is perfect. You want to get people to actually buy your offer because they're going to have multiple different options in mind, so we want them to go for our offer instead of competitors and other players in the market. So our differentiation angle here is that the solution that Notable is offering is 10x more potent than leading brands, and here to claim that they have the concentration of Tongat Ali in their supplements. It uses highly concentrated ingredient forms, and one thing that's super cool about sales pages that they're much easier to build than, let's say, for example, listic or advertorials or more copy focused pages, because it's much easier to think in offers than to think in angles, and specifically selling angles to write copy or a story on or a listicle on. So sales pages are most of the time easier to build than other pre-sale landers. And the second thing is that you can reuse a lot of stuff on sales pages because they're not as copy focused as advertorials and listicles. So you can reuse a lot of the things that you might already have on your product page. So it's very easy to come up with them, and it's much quicker, obviously, to come up with offers than to come up with selling angles and copy, because it's just much simpler to think about offers, and there's much less option to test than to test angles and your audience, which is just much more research to be done to understand that. So that's also very important on sales pages. You don't have to do something completely new. You can also reuse a lot of things that you already have in your product page, and I'm going to show you that when we actually get to design the page. Then here they have the ingredients breakdown. So on the education side, on sales pages, you don't want to be too heavy on that. Obviously, there still needs to be some kind of education, especially for products like these, where the customer is getting much more sophisticated over time. You still need to have some kind of explanation or education on what's inside the product, what's inside what you're selling, or what is the mechanism of what you're selling. Obviously, here we're talking about supplements, but sales pages obviously apply to any product at all. For any product you have a sale that's running or a strong offer that's running, you can run sales pages. So obviously that's very important, and it will depend on the niche you're selling in and the product you're selling, but some kind of education on the mechanism is still required to make sure the traffic understands what we're talking about here. And also, if there's cold traffic that wants to convert immediately, so it makes sure you have some kind of education there that still educates them and informs them on the product and on your mechanism. So also a good section and a good thing you can reuse on a sales page. Then here, something very important we're going to use on the sales page design is here they have a section mentioning they're trusted by the world's top performance, and here they have some famous people, some fighters, fitness influencers, fitness coaches, entrepreneurs, the kind of audience you would go for when selling a testosterone supplement. So we're going to obviously use these faces and these things on the sales page. Another good angle for differentiation, so that's also very important here. Then they have a section here calling out the add to cart again. They have a review from one of the people mentioned above in the trusted section. Then they have the FAQ. Obviously FAQ, we're going to also have that on the sales page. Then they have the reviews. I want to go through a few of these reviews because they're going to also handpick some of these to have on our sales page. Handpicking reviews on sales page is super powerful. Depending on the angle you go for, you can kind of make the traffic understand that this is a trusted solution. This solution has authority. The solution has already been tested. So that's also very important there. So let's go through a few reviews here. The first review here seems very strong, and it's already a good candidate for a review. We would handpick, select and use On our page, I've tried many T-cells, notable alpha stands out. So here, good differentiation angle, and if it comes obviously from a customer, from someone that has tested and used the product, then it's also much stronger. My lifts have significantly increased and I get incredible pumps. I feel like Superman. Good angle here, no joke, it's crazy. That's good. I do stuck with water supplements out of personal preference, but honestly, alpha and creatine alone are basically all you need. So that's a super good review. We can handpick and use on the sales page by itself. I've already gone through a few of these reviews, so I can mention a few angles that I want to go for on the sales page. One would be, if I scroll through all of these reviews, there is not a lot of them, so I can just do that manually. There is a review from a woman here that mentions this stuff is seriously good quality. It's been helping my hubby feel full of life and super confident, so much that he's been telling all of his buddies about here. So this is a super good angle if you're going to also market towards women. So this type of product, obviously the end consumer of this product is men, obviously, but you're going to also want to market it towards both men and women, because there is reviews like this of women that signal to you there's also women in the market for this that want to buy this for their husband. So we want to market to both, and then we have to think obviously to cater to men as the end consumer of the product. But you can already understand a few angles we want to go for here. Then if we're going to read a few more reviews, there is a few others I've seen that I want to mention specifically for some reasons. The second one here from Nick mentioned another good angle that we need to understand before going into the sales page. It gives me an energy boost for my workouts and helps maintain my muscle strength even at over 50 years old. And this is the important thing about this review. So we need to also obviously think about the age of the audience we're selling to. Most are not mentioning the age here, so I'm going to assume, since there is just 2 reviews that I've seen that mention age and both of them are over 40 years old, we're going to have to market towards a little bit larger and broad kind of audience. So both thinking about 20-year-olds and also 50-year-olds. So here's the second review mentioning 43-year-old dude. So that's also something we're going to need to keep in mind when writing our copy. Here, just by looking at reviews here, this is also something I mentioned on the advertorial video. I don't have access to any of this data. I can't really use it and leverage it properly, so I can only go based on what I see here. But obviously, if you're going to do this for your brand and you have access to your reviews and you can use CSVs and analyze the data much better, then you can come up with infinite angles here to use on the sales page. But we can already gather a few angles from what you can see here. So I'd say let's go and use ChatGPT and come up with a few angles for the page. So here I am on ChatGPT. I've gone through and added a few review context from the reviews we've handpicked from the data here on the website, and this is the prompt I've mentioned to kind of come up with the first few angles. The result is not super good, but that's not a problem. You need to use ChatGPT only to come up with ideas and to kind of let it analyze the data and work with the data you have to come up with common angles, common messaging, common keywords, common pains and problems mentioned, common emotions mentioned with the improvement from the product, not to actually write the copy. So if the output is not going to be super good, especially like I'm doing it right now by handpicking and going through it manually, the results are not going to be good, especially in this case. But with our clients, usually we obviously have a few different research methods we implement when we start working with clients and split testing for our clients and building the funnels and the angles. But when we do it with ChatGPT, we obviously have internal scripts that do this, especially for clients that have 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 or like 50k reviews. It's obviously going to need specific scripts to do it with GPT and whatnot, and obviously you can get much better results with that approach. But if you don't have that many reviews, or if you can do it manually, then you can still use ChatGPT. The results are not going to be super good, but you obviously have to actually write the copy by hand and only use ChatGPT to come up with ideas and common angles and stuff like that. So the prompt I've used is this one right here. So this is a review log with all the reviews. Okay, we've seen that. I'm building a hard sale offer page for the product. Ask it to analyze the main insights from the reviews and use the keywords messaging, solved pains and problems and emotion of the customers to come up with ideas. The structure we're going to go for the page, and I'm going to mention that again when we get in Figma and actually design the page, is obviously above the fold, very, very important. Selected reviews, as I mentioned, focuses on strong offer, differentiation, and FOMO angle, FOMO wording. So selected reviews obviously super important for the second most important point for sales pages. The solution statement, obviously on a sales page, we're not going to go on a story and explain the problem and explain what emotions are derived from the problem. That's the work that you have to do with advertorials, with listicles, with more cold traffic centered funnels and landers. Here we want to go immediately for a solution statement and how our mechanism, our different mechanism from the competition reaches that solution for the customer. Then we're going to go immediately for the buy box and the call to action, focusing on point number 1, which is the strong offer we have for the page. Then expectations management, super important. It helps with the purchase decision because people, when going through the purchase, have an idea immediately of what they're going to get. For example, on day 1, day 5, day 10, day 50, day 100. So expectations management also super important in general, not just on sales pages, but on sales pages even more critical, to reduce churn if you're going to use subscription offers, to get people to stay with the brand, and to get people to actually use the product correctly and get the results they expect with the timeline they expect from the brand. Then guarantees, super important part of the offer, together with pricing and structuring, so and also positioning. So that's also super important on sales pages. Guarantees, very, very important. And then FAQs, you can just use what you have on your product page. I would suggest having a few more questions on the sales pages. So even if there's questions that you may think are not super relevant or that are repeated from the kind of content you mentioned, you can just add them. If you have, the more FAQs you have, the better it is. Obviously, you don't have to have a wall of them or a extensive list of them, but having maybe 7, 8, 10 or 12, it may be a good idea. Or I think a little bit more than what you have on your PDPs, for example. These I think are too little for the sales pages, so maybe adding a few more here, 3, 4, 5 more here would be a good idea. And then we close obviously with the FAQ section here. What we want to do here with the audience, what I know about the audience from reading the reviews and reading the kind of context of the product, is obviously mainly men. Some mention 45 plus years old, but there are also customers in their 20s, so we want to go a little bit broad. There are also reviews from women who bought the product for their men, mentioning mainly libido and sexual activity, because that's what they're most interested to, obviously, from their angle, from their POV buying the product. So you need to be aware of your audience. That's why obviously research is super important. Also the angle they're mentioning, obviously here, super important. Then the offer we are selling is, we're going to go for an AOV offer, so 1, 2, 3 pack with up to 60% off on the biggest bundle. This is the pricing. I've just taken the pricing they have on their bundles on the one-time purchase to mention that. Increase free testosterone by 74% in 90 days is our guarantee and our kind of result we are focusing on. And then the 90 days money back guarantee as our guarantee behind the claim you're making here. And here's the result from ChatGPT. I've gone a little bit through this. It's not the best. You can kind of use mainly the main insights you get, so the keyword messaging, the pain and problem solved, and the emotions triggered. Those are the most important things to come up with copy for pages. But then I also asked it to come up with the page structure, and it's not super good. So for example, the headline here, this headline here is not good at all. The sub-headline is already a little bit better. We are mentioning our differentiation point and the claim we're making. The CTA is good to mention the offer. So this CTA here is actually pretty strong. We have a good CTA here. Selected reviews, we are going to handpick those, so that's not an issue here. Solution statement, a testosterone booster that delivers. This is not a bad headline. What you can, like, the angle you're going for here is someone that has already tried a few solutions, or maybe very sophisticated traffic that maybe has tried other solutions, or may have heard that testosterone boosters are useless, or they're a scam or stuff like that. So you can kind of use that angle here for this. The body is not bad. You're not here for half measure. It's done from a ready to crush. Every work I dominate your day. If you're unstoppable, this is not bad. We are targeting the angle we want to target. We are mentioning a few ingredients that make up the difference in our mechanism from other solutions and from the competition. Mentions a few strong bullet points here in USPs for the product. And we have the buy box CTA, but that's we're going to structure it in Figma when we design the page. Obviously, you're going to want to price anchor here and mention if you're going for an AOV offer or a bundle offer, you want to going to mention the price per pack or per tub of your product. So here, the total saving obviously on the 3 pack will be the $60, which will be obviously the most savings. And then we're going to have the most popular, which is the 2 pack, and then the 1 pack, which is going to be the standard with no discount at all. CTA button. We're going to see all of the stuff when we actually design the page. Expectation management, they already have a very good section on that on their page, which is the one we've seen here, but we're going to structure it in a little bit a different way here because it's not super clear. Then the guarantees, depends heavily on what you're selling and what you're running as a guarantee. Here we have our 90 days money back guarantee, then the FAQ. So we're going to mainly use the insights from here. So performance boosting, this is what actually customers mention, so this is what we care about and want to use when coming up with copy. So testosterone hormonal balance, this is the keyword messaging that the customers are using to explain the product. Emotional drivers, confidence, motivation, improved mood, sense of youthfulness, like I'm in my 20s. Again, this for the 40 plus audience. Convenience and usability is to take well-formulated, transparent ingredients. That's also super important. Reliable, effective, noticeable changes in a short time. And obviously you're going to want to set expectations here. That's why the expectations section is very, very important. Pain and problem solved, this is the most important section of them all. Low energy and fatigue during workouts, this is solved. Struggling with strength plateaus and slow muscle gains, this is solved. Declining libido and sexual performance, this is solved. Sluggish recovery after workouts and diminished confidence and motivation, especially in older men. So these are also very, very important. Obviously it's what you want to mention in the copy in your page. Then emotions triggered, you can call out on these when there is important call to actions or purchase or decisions to be made. So excitement, feeling stronger, gaining mass, smashing to workout barriers, empowerment, the sense of power and confidence you get from feeling full of life, the relief from the energy and performance problems being solved, and then the satisfaction, seeing the results and feeling the value of the money you're investing here, obviously also very important. So here we are in Figma to actually design the page. I've done a few things here. I've imported their PDP because I'm going to obviously reuse some of the assets and the things they have already on the product page. As I've mentioned, on sales pages specifically, you can kind of reuse a lot of the things you already have on your product page. So that's why I imported them. I'm going to use a few assets from here specifically. And then I've also structured here the layout we're going to use for the sales page. So starting at the top above the fold, as seen in selected reviews, solution statements, CTA and buy box, set expectations, and then guarantees, reviews and FAQs. We already have those on the product page, so we're not going to have to redo them from scratch in the sales page, but we're going to start here immediately from the above the fold. So let's create a frame here. I'm going to start with the above the fold first. I'm going to complete it. We're going to go through it, and we're going to do this for every single section. Here's the section I came up with for the above the fold. Now, obviously having to do this on video and having limited time to do so means I won't be able to focus too much on the design and branding side of things. Obviously, I'll make sure everything still looks good and still looks presentable with good branding, but we're going to focus mainly on the offer, on the copy and our differentiation here for the page. So immediately, announcement bar, we're immediately going to go for the offer. So here mentioning save up to $60 on the bulk purchases, and then limited availability for FOMO purposes on the sales page, mentioning the offer again here with a badge on the product tab itself. Then for the headline, we're going for low energy, weak lifts and fatigue. We're immediately calling out the problems and the pains that our target audience has. We're mentioning gone, I've never felt better, and I'm framing this as a review for the headline. And then as sub headline, we're mentioning take back control of your strength, energy, libido, and focus on the things we've taken out of our research and reviews analysis at the beginning, and focus with notable alpha, the most potent testosterone supplement on the market. Feel like the man you are meant to be, which is a good enough subheadline here for the purpose of the video. And then a call to action, we tried notable alpha now. What you can do here on the call to action is obviously also mention the offer again. There's not enough offer mentioning that you can do on the sales page, because the focus and the sole reason and the goal of the sales page is to actually sell your offer. So you can do something on the call to action, like try notable alpha with up to $60 off on the bundles, or mention the offer again in some way. Then we have the as seen in. This I've taken this directly from the PDP we have here. So as you can see, this section here they have on the PDP, I've taken exactly that and put it here under the above the fold, mentioning obviously the magazines and the press. Here's the next section I came up with for the selected reviews part of the page. As the headline here, I'm mentioning men across the world have switched to notable alpha and loving the results. So there's two parts to this. First, the broad targeting, men across the world, so a lot of people across the world using the product, and then second part, loving the results. And in the sub-headline, we mention what these results are. So from gym breakthroughs to everyday energy in the bed to the bedroom, here how this supplement is making a real difference. And here for the reviews, I've handpicked the reviews we've seen when conducting research on the product page. So the first one from Ali, the second one from Yasmin, mentioning the woman angle getting a product for her man. And then Another angle here from Malcolm, mentioning again the recovery for workouts and energy levels, and then mentioning the bedroom angle again with the last sentence here, which is the benefits are limited to the gym, if you catch my drift, which is also a funny angle to kind of sell that. Then we have a call to action here, very important on those pages. You want to have call to actions everywhere, and then here, to add a little bit even more social proof and kind of authority here, I've put 3 of the faces they have on their PDP here in this section, in this section right here. So I've taken 3 from the people mentioned here and added them to the selected reviews with the call out for their name, what they do, and the followers they have. So kind of adding authority, adding trust, adding there's people, there's top performers, top athletes, top influencers and coaches that use this product. So mentioning them like this also adds a little bit of character to the design and the kind of branding of the product, having the call out like this, but it also adds obviously trust and social proof to the product. Here's the solution statement part of the page and the section I came up with for that. So as you can see, if you zoom out, the pager is already starting to come to life. We have the above the fold, we have the selected reviews, and the above the fold obviously mentioning the offered selected reviews, giving us authority, social proof, both from customers and from trusted athletes and coaches. Then we have the solution statement differentiating us from competitor and different solutions on the market. And as you can see here, it's already starting to come to life with this structure and with this layout right here. But for the solution statement here, I've reused a lot of things that were already on the PDP. As I've mentioned, you can easily do that with sales pages since they're not super copy focused. So here, what I've reused are the 2 sections mentioning the 74% increase in free testosterone, and use the copy for that. And here I've paired with it a section with the product, and then another review, handpicked review from the reviews on the store, and then the second section mentioning that the next more potent the leading brand. So this is for comparison and differentiation, and I've used the chart they already had here on the PDP. I'll just simply use that to be part of the comparison and differentiation section here. You don't need to do like crazy work here to mention that. Obviously it depends on what's the niche and what's the product you're selling, but you can just reuse a lot of the things you have here. Also on the design aspect, not a lot of complications here. I'm sure with more time it could use more branding work or more design work, but we're already happy with this. We want to make sure that the concepts are clear and the differentiation from other competitors and other products is clear. Here's the next section in the page, what I came up with for the buy box, the most important section. If you're going to look and zoom out at the pages, if you're following through and actually building your sales pages following this video, then as you can see here, it's already a very viable structure for a sales page, but there are a few things that are missing that we want to add to make sure it's as effective as possible. But here, let's focus on the buy box first. So again, announcing the offer with another announcement bar here, super important. Make sure the offer is strong and mention it everywhere. Then we have a gamification progress bar here for choosing the bundle, then the billing information, then the confirmation, trying to gamify and turn the purchase and the checkout into play, which usually helps with conversion rate. Then we have the actual buy box here. So since I'm structuring it for AOV and I'm structuring it for getting as much value as possible on the first purchase, then we're going to price anchor based on the price per bottle, and obviously going up from 1 to 2 to 3 bottles. This goes from 113 to 95 to the lowest one, which is 90, which is the 3-pack. Then we're going to have the total price here, the call to action to choosing the actual bundle we want, and then a kind of differentiation from the offer between the offers to make sure we want people to go obviously for the higher priced bundles here, which in this case I've gone simply for the main one, which has obviously all of them have the 90-day money back guarantee, but the 2 highest AOV options obviously also have free shipping included with that. You don't need to go too crazy on the buy box, just simply laying out the offer there, which sounds complicated and it seems complicated, but actually super easy. You just need to lay out the prices there, make it super clear, very understandable what you get with each bundle, with each package, what's the pricing exactly, both per bottle and total pricing, and the value you're getting. Just make sure it's super clear and you can understand that very, very easily. Then for the next section after the buy box, you're going to want to have the expectation management section. This is what I came up with. For that, as you can see, this is super simple. Just want to show a concept here without going too heavy into design and into branding, but just an idea and a concept of how I would structure this besides what they already have here on the product page, which I think could be showcased better, and this layout is not is not that good for what they're trying to convey here. I went with a kind of interactive progress bar, so you start from number 1 here, and all of the other ones are minimized, so you can actually see what's written under there, but you can click on them and it's kind of interactive. On click on feedback, you get the text that under there. So the day 1 is obviously the one that's already available, and we can read here, which is early activation of testosterone production, and we mentioned what's happening there. Then what basically would happen is customer would click here on the bubble for the day 3 and the day 7 and the day 45 to read what's actually under the section and read what happens on all of these under all of these days to understand what's the effect of the product and the results they can expect day 3, day 7, day 45 and day 90. Then for the last 2 sections, reviews and FAQs, you can simply use what's already there on the product page. There is no need to redesign them or do anything crazy here. You can simply mention the FAQs you have here and add a few more with more questions. I would do that on a sales page personally. Having 6 probably not enough, so I would go for 8, 10, 12. FAQs are very important and they perform super well and they help a lot with purchase decisions, so I would have more of them there. Then for the reviews, this is already good enough. Most stores anyway and most brands use review apps and stuff like that to showcase the reviews, so they would use the integration with those to showcase all of the reviews also on the sales page. This is what I was able to come up with in roughly 35 to 45 minutes of recording this video. Obviously, when we work with clients and build funnels and landers for clients, we take a much more in-depth and detailed approach for that. We take 7 to 10 days to build landers specifically for our clients to make sure we conduct research properly, we design pages that look good and have good branding on them, and we make sure that they are effective. But for 35-45 minutes, I think I was able to do a pretty good job here of building a sales page for Notable. If you need a sales page and selling funnels for your e-commerce brand and your brand does more than $50,000 in revenue per month, then you can work with me and my team. We've designed these funnels and split tested them for 7 and 8 figure brands. So book a call with me in the second link in the description, and you're going to get a free roadmap for how we're going to test and build these landers for you. If you want my 60-page e-commerce split testing guide, goes from A to Z into our process of how we implement our split testing process for brands, then you can get a copy in the first link in the description by inputting your email. See you in the next video.